it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can see by the title, this reading is all about when will it happen. It is pretty straightforward, but basically we have 8 groups for you guys to choose from, and each group will have a different time frame according to what you are asking. So basically, you go into the group and you ask a question and you want to know when will this thing happen. So whether it's like your next job or school or moving or communication, like whatever it is, you can ask any question that you want to ask and you want to know a time frame about, and I will go in and we will pull some cards and we will give you a time frame to see when will this thing happen. So I hope that makes sense. It'll make more sense once we get into the group, but it is pretty personalized to what you are asking. And again, since this is a general reading, I will do my best as a reader for a general reading to give you an accurate message or an accurate time frame. But again, keep in mind this is a general reading, so there's more than a few people that are going to be watching this, so take the time frames with like a grain of salt, as that saying goes. So yeah, this is pretty much when will it happen. So like I said, there's 8 groups for you guys to choose from, and each group has a different crystal this time, so that way you can choose which crystal you're drawn to the most. And keep in mind that you can watch as many groups as you would like, because maybe you have multiple questions that you want to ask about, and then you want multiple time frames. So you can definitely watch as many and assign different questions to different groups. However you want to do it is totally okay with me. So let me go ahead and show you your crystals and your options up close one by one. Group 1, your crystal is this fluorite chunk. Group 2, your crystal is Carnelian. Group 3, your crystal is this purple Seer stone. Group 4, your crystal is this black Obsidian. Group 5, your crystal is this white Jade. Group 6, your crystal is this blue Caribbean Calcite. Group 7, your crystal is this hot pink agate. And group 8, your crystal is this blue obsidian. Okay, you guys, here are all of our groups laid out side by side, and like I said, you can ask different questions to different groups, so you can watch as many as you would like. Take all the time you need. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with group number 1. Hey guys, if you chose this fluorite chunk, this is your group. Hello, group number 1. I'm gonna set your crystal right there. Hopefully I explained the reading and hopefully you understand what's happening, but I will go over it again. So basically, this is all about when will it happen, and this is going to answer your question of when something is going to happen. So right now, I want you to go ahead and think about what your question is, what you want to ask with this group. So you can pause the video, you can like meditate, you can say it in your head, you can say it out loud, you can do it however you want to feel connected to me, to feel connected to this group, this reading right now. And as you are thinking about your question, I'm gonna go ahead and pull. First, I want to start off with maybe like 2 or 3 cards from this deck, because I just want to get a general idea of what you are asking about, and that way it's like an energy check, right? So that way, if you feel like the energy check does not really match what you're asking about, then you could probably watch a different group, and then maybe this timeline doesn't really make sense for you. So that's why we're going to start off with an energy check, and then that way I can see what you're asking about. You can confirm if that is accurate to what you are asking about, and then we will go into the time frame. So like I said, you can pause the video now, you can keep the video rolling, you can say your question out loud, you can say your question in your head. Whatever it is you want to do, go ahead and ask your question as I'm shuffling here, and we'll go ahead and see, what is group 1 asking about? What is group 1 asking about today for their when will it happen timeline What is group 1 asking about? What is group 1 asking about? Okay, so think about your question. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for our energy check. What is group 1 asking about today? What is group 1 asking about today? What is group 1 asking about today? We have the 3 of Pentacles, the number 66. I want to get one more card. What is group 1 asking about today? What is group 1 asking about? The cards are definitely taking a while for this to come out, and the Pentacles is a slower moving energy, so this could be something that's been in the works for a while. And then we have Elder of Pentacles, so more Pentacles energy. This is the King of Pentacles, and I just saw 333 as I held that up to the timer. So, oh, look at that, 9 of Swords, bottom of the deck. Temperance. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. I feel like for group 1, you're asking about something to do with your career or your finances. It could be something you've been waiting for this to evolve for a while, because with Temperance, you know, that really reminds us of staying patient, and we're kind of like, you know, doing what we need to do, but we're staying patient with something and we're allowing it to kind of grow on its own. And then with the 9 of Swords, this is talking about us having some anxieties. We're overthinking the situation. We're very nervous about it. So it's making me think that you're asking about if something is either going to like work out in your career, or with your finances, or when is something going to take off with your career or finances, or it's like the thing you're waiting to happen in this aspect of your life. You're asking about like, when will this happen, or when will I see results, or when will I succeed, when will I get that raise, when will I get acknowledged in some way. So it just feels like you've been waiting for it for a while. The 3 of Pentacles, you know, this is a card about teamwork. It's about working hard. You are kind of starting at the bottom. And the King of Wands, or sorry, not King of Wands, the King of Pentacles here, this is really showing us like the end prize. So it really feels like you're going from like 0 to 100. It feels like you're starting off small, or you're building something, you're working on something to do with your career, or your finances, and then it's like you're waiting for it to take you to the next level, or waiting for it to take you to where you want it to go, essentially. And I think you're like waiting on that, and there could be some anxious energy surrounding that. Yeah, for some of you, this could even be talking about like a raise. When am I getting a raise? When am I getting more money, in that sense? And for others of you, with the King of Pentacles here, it does feel like recognition, or it's like, when will somebody finally like acknowledge the hard work I'm doing? When will I get compensated for the hard work I'm doing? So it kind of feels in that sense. And for others of you, there's even this energy for some of you that like you've been working very hard for a long time, and you've been staying patient. You've been giving this company or your boss or whoever is in charge here, it's like you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, but maybe it's like you're still kind of not getting that raise, or you're still not getting that result that you want, or that promotion that you want. So for some of you, you're even like contemplating if you should completely walk away from it and try a different career path, try a different company, you know, work for somebody else. So for some of you, it's like, if this doesn't happen quickly, because you've been waiting for a while, if it doesn't happen quickly, then you're like, you know, I'm gonna go do something else. And then for others of you, maybe you're okay with like the pace things are going at, and maybe you just want to know when is the result happening, or when is it actually happening, in that sense. I do feel like there is this sense of like working very hard, trying to prove yourself, or prove your worth, or prove your dedication. Because thinking about the bees, you know, for bees, it's like every bee has to do their part. you know, to whatever it is they do in their hive to make their honey for their queen bee. You know, I don't really know the life and the schedule of bees, but it's like every bee has to work pretty hard to get some kind of an end result. So maybe it's like you are working hard and you are putting a lot of time and effort into something. And like I said, for some of you, maybe you're waiting to get recognized or to get that next thing that you are waiting for. And if it doesn't happen, maybe you want to go somewhere else because maybe this person just doesn't see your worth or see your value. And then for others of you, maybe you're okay with it. So my intentions for trying to figure out this time frame for this question that you're asking here is for others of you, you know, it's very possible that you're just asking about finances and career in general, which I guess it could still fall under everything I said. If it's not about like a specific company or a specific boss or something, you could just be asking like, when will my finances improve? You know, that could also, I could also translate it to like a very simple question of like, when are my finances improving? Or like, will it improve? Yeah, okay. I think I'm repeating myself now. So my intentions for pulling the time frame is like the cards that I pull, I'm gonna pull a quick time frame. So what is like the fastest that something could change here? Or, you know, the fastest something will happen. We'll get a medium time frame and then we'll get a long time frame. And I want to be very straightforward with the cards and read them specifically as time. But if there's a very strong message coming through and it's like spirit is like pounding on me to like tell you this message and not just read it as a time frame, then obviously I will convey the message to you. But if there's not like a very strong message coming through, my intentions for the cards is just strictly time. So let's, whoop, and I dropped some. Let's get into it. So for group one's question about when is something advancing in their career or finances, let's go ahead and get a time frame. For group one's question, when is something advancing in their career or finances? There's that Nine of Swords again. This is the exact same card. Queen of Wands in the reverse. It's like you're like losing confidence over something because it's taking too long. It's making you very nervous. You could even feel like, did I put all my effort into the wrong thing? Like, is this going to provide the result that I want? Some of you, this could even have felt like a gamble. Like you put all your time and effort and resources into something and maybe it didn't give back to you the way you thought it would. So there could be something here about that as well. Like taking a risk. Some of you could have taken a risk towards something. I feel like you are trying to stay positive though with that Temperance here, and you're trying to give the situation or this company or this boss or this other person you're working with, you're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt without like worrying too much. There's that Nine of Swords again. Okay, so for the short time frame for group one's question about their career and or finances advancing or this situation, let's get the short time frame of when this will happen. When will they see the results? What is the shortest time frame for when group one will see their results? We have the Page of Swords, so that's the shortest time frame. Let's get a medium time frame of when group one can see results. We have the Four of Cups. And then let's get a long time frame. So this would be the longest time frame in question here for when group one will see the results that they want. And two cards came out at the same time. Page of Pentacles and the Six of Cups in the reverse. Okay. I want to start off with the Page of Pentacles and the Six of Cups in the reverse. There is a strong message coming through with this here for the long time frame. And for some of you, this could be somebody you're working with. Again, that message of like, this could be a gamble in some way. This could have been somebody that you're working with and like you invested something into this situation. So maybe you invested money, maybe you invested something else like resources, or, you know, there's something like that for some of you. For the long time frame, I want to speak the message first. And the message is like, you will be cutting ties with this person. And I think that will almost be like your last resort, because it is coming up at the very end of the timeline that we are seeing here. And I think like at the end of the day, you are like, if you choose to stick around for a long time in this situation, I do see that you are cutting ties with this person, this company, this boss, this entity, this partnership, whatever it is. I do see that you are going to be cutting ties. And it literally feels, like I said earlier, this energy feels like the reward was not big enough for the investment that you put into it. I hope that makes sense. It's like the time and effort and resources that you put into something, you did not get that or more in return, and it just felt like it's not worth it anymore, something like that. So I do think if you do stick around for like the long time frame of the situation, you will walk away from it, and you will cut ties. That came through very, very strongly. And it's like you're going to cut ties, and then you're going to do it independently. And maybe for some of you, you've always wanted to do it independently. So I don't know if there was just like a lack of confidence, a lack of resources, a lack of anything, right? Like there's always a reason we feel like we need to partner with somebody instead of doing it on our own, or working for somebody instead of doing it on our own. But it does feel like at the end of the day, in the long run, you are going to realize that like, I'm going to walk away from it, from this connection or this relationship that we have here, and I'm going to do it independently on my own. And this almost feels like 6 months to a year. So I would say in 6 months to a year, if you're not satisfied, which I have a feeling you might not be, you're going to decide that you are going to do it independently and do it on your own and cut ties and walk away. So for the shortest time frame here, we have the Page of Swords, and Swords is actually very fast. And then for the medium time frame, we have the Four of Cups, which is, again, a slow energy. So here's what I'm seeing, group one. I think your intuition is correct, because there's a reason you're anxious. There's a reason we see that Nine of Swords over and over again. So Spirit is telling you, like, yes, your intuition about something being a little fishy, or something not working out the way you wanted to, or people taking advantage of you, or something, right? Like, the reason you're anxious, that is your intuition telling you something is not right, and the universe wants you to listen to that. But I do see you're going to continue to give it the benefit of the doubt, just because we have this longer time frame of 6 months to a year of you like holding on, wanting to see a different result that you might not really see. But I feel like you're already getting intuitive messages with the Page of Swords about, like, you know, it just might not be for you here. And I feel like you are actively, like, right now getting these intuitive messages, and you might have already been getting these intuitive messages. So there is this feeling of like, maybe you're currently ignoring your intuition when it comes to this scenario that you are asking about. Because this feels active right now in your life. For this medium time frame, this would definitely be like 4 months for this. Just because I automatically feel like, because water is very slow. Earth is slower than water. So that's why I don't feel like this would be like 4 years, you know? So I think this would be in like the next 4 months. Okay, so I know this is about like your time frame, but I'm just going to read this as how I see it. So I feel like actively your intuition is already telling you something here is not working, and it probably won't work out the way you want it to, or like your intuition is trying to tell you something. But I do think you might dismiss it and give it the benefit of the doubt for the next 4 months. And then I think in 4 months, then you're going to start contemplating, and you're going to be like, okay, like I've been sticking around, or I've been doing the work, I've been doing X, Y, and Z. I'm not getting that raise, or my partnership is not working out. You know, it's still not working for you in 4 months. And then in that 6 months to a year time frame, that's when I see you. I think in the 4 month time frame, that's when you're going to feel like, okay, I need to do something different. And then leading into like that 6 months to 12 months, that's when you're going to decide to break free and do it on your own. So I know like this reading is about like when will something happen, but I feel like this is what you have to know for your current situation and for your current time frame. Okay, so I have some oracle cards here, so we'll just end off with some advice here for group number 1. Wow, that flew. Ooh, broken ring. Parting of ways in either romance or business. Is this what I just said? This is literally 1717 as I'm holding this up. So for some of you, this could be about a relationship. You know, I didn't really read it in that sense, but I guess it could be for some of you. Like everything I've said, the energy of this reading could definitely be about a relationship that you're waiting on, or waiting on it to improve in that sense. So I definitely think like Spirit wants you to know all this, and that in 6 months to a year, they're saying you probably will walk away from this. So let's keep going. And you saw how the card flew out. Like, I totally cannot make this up. Okay, let's keep going. Any other advice for group 1? Ooh, oh my god, everything comes back to like some kind of a sketchy situation in your work or business. It says Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So it almost feels like you have to keep a close eye on somebody. You have to make sure you're not constantly turning a blind eye to somebody that is revolving in the situation. And then we have Fly, a period of ill health or depression. And I think that actually goes well with this, because you think something is working, you're putting time and effort into it, and then that anxiety, and then you questioning yourself. So I don't think this depression has to be as bad as it might seem in this image, but I do think that like there is some sadness, because you realize, oh look, and then bottom of the deck, because then you realize like, oh, I could do better, or yeah, like I have to cut my losses and walk away from this. It's just like disappointment. So man, we have dealings or relationship with a man. So for some of you, this could definitely, again, be a man that you're in a relationship with, that Spirit is talking to you about. This could be a man that you're in a business situation with. This could be a boss, a coworker, a partner. And then we end off with 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. So I do feel like it almost feels like you're going to realize you have to cut ties in order for you to prosper in life. So we are ending in a very good note here. And I think this is just what Spirit wants you to know about the situation. It's just unfortunate, but you will end up in a much better place. And it's like cutting ties. It's like getting rid of the excess baggage of the people you don't need, or the career situation that doesn't, appreciate you. So I do think you'll end up with good luck at the end of the day. And it does feel like you are meant to walk away from this. So whatever it is you're asking about, Spirit wants you to walk away from it. Okay, group number 1, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I hope it was helpful. And like I said earlier, you can ask as many questions as you would like. So if you're going to stick around, then I'll see you in another group, or I'll see you in my next reading. And I also have a Patreon that has exclusive content, and the viewers on Patreon get to submit their monthly requests. So it's kind of personalized over there, because I record what people want to see. So if that's something you're interested in, and there are some extendeds on there as well from previous YouTube readings, the link will be in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. But thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video or next reading. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this Carnelian, this is your group. Hello, group number 2. Thank you guys so much for being here. Like I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about when will it happen. So we're going to start off the reading with you asking a question. Whatever it is you want to know, I feel like you're already sending that into the intentions in that way. So whatever it is you are seeking about, you want clarity about, whatever you want a time frame about, that's what we're going to be answering today. So I want you to ask a question. You can say it out loud, you can say it in your head, you can even pause the video if you want to like kind of focus on it or meditate on it and really like send your intentions over here for this reading. So you're going to ask your question. I'm going to start off with an energy check, and that way we can see what you're asking about. And that's a good way for both of us to kind of know what this is about, and also for you to know if this is your group or not. Because if you start to listen to the energy check and you're like, what, that actually does not sound like anything that I am asking, then definitely check out a different group. Since we have 8, I'm sure that there'll hopefully be a group that you feel like, okay, this is what I'm asking. But that's why we're going to start off with an energy check. And it's also a good way for me to kind of know what I'm talking about and what I am answering, you know. So yeah, okay, so we're going to start off with the energy check, and then we'll go in with the tarot deck, and we will answer the time frame of what I see. So let's just get started with this. As I'm shuffling here, go ahead and think about your question. And like I said, if you want more time, pause the video, you know, take a second, take as long as you need to set your intentions for your question. But let's go ahead and see for group number 2 that chose this Carnelian here. What is group 2 asking about for their when will it happen time frame? What is group 2 asking about? What is group 2 asking about? What is group 2 asking about? Oh, the 10 of Cups. How cute. Okay, let's see. What is group 2 asking about? I immediately thought about a wedding. I just immediately thought about, because this just looks like a wedding situation to me. So you could be asking about, when are you getting married? When is there going to be commitment in your relationship? When are you going to get engaged? It almost feels like, when are you taking the next step in some kind of a romantic connection that you are in right now? But let me get one more card just to clarify. What is group 2 asking about here with this 10 of Cups? Okay, 2 cards at the same time. I'll take it. 5 of Wands and the Death card. Oh, okay, I think I changed what I saw earlier. And you could be asking about, like, when will you find your soulmate? When will you find that person for you to be in a long-term relationship with? Because with a Death card, it does make me feel like you are single, or it's like you currently got out of a relationship, or you're single. Like, it almost feels like, since Death is talking about an ending, it does feel like maybe you're not actively in a relationship right now. And with the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Wands does talk about conflict, you know, talks about like, not the easiest of situations to be in. So with these two together, it does feel like you've been in hard relationships, you know, in the past. Maybe your relationships just haven't worked out, or they just weren't good relationships. Maybe with whatever situation, there could have been conflict, it could have been toxic, there could have been, you know, whatever, right? There's a lot of different relationships out there, but it does feel like you haven't had the easiest of romantic relationships. And with the Death card, it could indicate that you're single, or you've gone through a massive ending in some relationship, maybe multiple relationships in your life. And with this 10 of Cups, like, this truly does feel like soulmate vibes to me, you know, like that initial, oh look, 444 as I'm holding it up, and that initial message about marriage. So with everything I see here, it almost feels like you're asking about, when will I meet my soulmate? When will I get married? When will I, like, find the love of my life? Or when will I find a happy, healthy relationship after troubled relationships, you know, troubled past? Or even in this death phase of this transformation, it's like, when will I finally find my person, right? No matter what label you want to put on that person, it just genuinely boils down to, like, a happy, healthy relationship. Maybe it's commitment, maybe it's engagement, maybe it's marriage, kids. I think you're essentially asking, like, when will that happen to me? Somebody could like to thrift. That's coming through very strongly, because in this image, all 10 of these cups are different. Well, there's like 2, so like these two go together, these 2 go together, you know, like, so there's 2 of each to make 10. There's like 5 sets, but it just feels like thrifting, because I know whenever I go, because I thrift a lot, maybe that's why I thought about this, but whenever I go to the thrift store, the shelf with the glasses, they all have different glasses and stuff, and I'm always so intrigued by that. So I don't know, somebody could like to thrift here. That just randomly popped into my mind. And even like the way there's a road here, again, I thought about a road trip, but in speaking in like a spiritual sense, I feel like you could have gone on a massive transformative journey after some kind of a hardship in your life, or even in your emotional journey, emotional intelligence. You know, I feel like there has been some kind of a transformation in that way. I do feel like you've healed a lot and you've grown a lot. You could feel like you are finally ready to be in a healthy, happy relationship. So let's just see, you know, let's just see what this time frame comes up to. Because I feel like, I guess there's two questions that could potentially be coming up here. There's the question of like, when will I, well, no, I think we'll just answer it as that one question of like, when will you end up with your person? Yeah, I think that makes sense. When will you end up with your person? Or maybe if you already have a person in mind, when will you take that next step with this person? So my intentions for pulling cards is I'm going to pull 3 cards. We're going to look at the shortest time frame, the medium time frame, and the longest time frame of what you are asking about. And I will read them strictly for time frame purposes. But if there's a very strong message that's coming through and like spirit needs you to know about this, about your current situation, then I will tell you the message that's coming through as well. But if there's no like extra message that's coming through, then I will just read it strictly for time. So for group 2, to answer their question for what they are seeking, what is the shortest time frame? What is the shortest time frame? The Magician. Wow. Okay, so then what is the medium time frame for group 2's question? What is the medium time frame? 8 of Cups. And then what is the longer time frame for group 2's question? What is the longer time frame? 7 of Swords. I want to clarify 7 of Swords as time, because swords are faster than another 7. Swords are faster than, okay, that makes sense. 6 of Wands, bottom of the deck. You know what's so interesting, that when I saw this card earlier and I was talking about that road on that long journey, and almost, and when I said road trip, or like you're going on a journey, I wanted to say by yourself. It felt very independent. So what I'm seeing here for like how long will it take for you to meet your person or to be in a committed relationship with your person, it really feels like there is some soul searching that needs to happen before this can happen for some of you. So if I'm just reading strictly time frame for the 8, well, I said ace, but this is a number 1. So the Magician, this is Mercury energy. So this is very, very quick. So this is almost like right now, like you have the power in your hands to actively manifest this person to come into your life. And I do feel like you have a lot of willpower. And there's a lot of personal power here. So it does feel like, for like tapping into your energy, it feels like you do want it fast. Like you want it now. You know, like you want to be in this harmonious, happy, healthy relationship now, just because you've been waiting for a long time, or I don't know, like it's just you want it now. For the middle time frame being the 8 of Cups, that is a slower time frame. So I could even view this as like 8 months. And then the longer time frame, we have 2 sevens. So I would even say this from the next, like, I could even say this as like the next 7 years. Okay, 7 years is a very long time. So I don't want to say like, oh, it's going to be 7 years before you meet your soulmate, because that seems very, very long. And but Pentacles is very slow. I could say that on the longer time frame, this could be in the next 7 weeks, because Swords is very fast. But this could be in the next 7 weeks to the next 7 months, the next 14 months, if I was to add both of these numbers together. But I definitely think it's on the long side. Like, I don't want to say 7 years and like freak you out, but I don't think it'll be that long. But even with the Tower, even with the Six of Wands here, this is a very independent journey. And I feel like you are going through some kind of an independent journey, or Spirit is advising you to go through an independent journey and not to seek this soulmate or this person or this relationship out right now, because it almost feels like there is like unfinished business within yourself, or there's like certain things that Spirit wants you to do on your own, such as like that transformative journey or a road trip, or just like have independent time to grow and heal as a person, and to like nurture yourself and to love yourself and to like fulfill that happiness within yourself first before you're seeking it from another person or seeking it from a romantic relationship. Like, there's just something here on you need to be independent for a little bit, and this might take a little longer than you wanted to, but I think you'll be happy at the end, because you're gonna realize that if this happened any sooner, it wouldn't have been the right time and you wouldn't have been ready for it. It's interesting because the Tower is very similar to the Death card. And this is Scorpio energy, so it's major transformation. I just thought 1313 as I'm talking about transformation, and the Death card is the number 13. So it almost feels like you have the power to get into a relationship right away, or it almost feels like if that's really what you want, you could get into a relationship. You know, I don't know if it would be like your soulmate, but you could find somebody pretty quickly, or manifest a relationship into your life, or, you know, pursue a relationship today, like as fast as you wanted to. But I think in the long run, it might leave you feeling empty, because you're gonna realize like there's a sense of fulfillment that you are looking for, but you are only able to give that to yourself, like to yourself by yourself. Not another person's not going to be able to fulfill that emptiness that you want fulfilled. And I think like this healing journey, that's what you're learning from this. So it's interesting because I feel like you're going into something very excited, or it's like you're looking for your soulmate, you're looking for relationships, but I think there could be some kind of a Tower moment in your life that causes you to realize, oh, wait a second, there are certain things that I have to work on, or emotional fulfillment that I have to give myself before I can allow that to come in. I definitely think you could be moving somewhere before this soulmate or this long-term relationship comes into your life. You could even be in a new city when you meet this person, but it does feel like a good chunk of time has passed. So that's why I feel like 7 years is very long, but for some of you, that could totally be accurate. You know, it could take you up to 7 years to meet your soulmate from when you're watching this, because it almost feels like you would be living a completely different life in a completely different environment as a different person altogether. So short time frame, you could have it immediately, but it might not be as fulfilling as you want it to be. Medium time frame would be like 8 months, but longer time frame can be up to 7 years. And actually, what I think could potentially happen for some of you is you actually do get into a relationship with somebody right now, like in the current energy up to the next 8 months of you watching this, because it is a timeless video. Current energy to 8 months, you could actually get into a relationship with somebody because you're seeking that love and that affection from somebody, or you're seeking just that relationship from somebody. But around that 8-month time period, you're actually going to walk away from the relationship realizing that an external person is not fulfilling you the way that you want to be fulfilled. And then after that 8-month time frame, going into maybe the next the next year, into the next couple years, that's when you're going to realize, okay, wait, I have to like fulfill my own cup, if that makes sense. And I think you will be very successful. And I think that in your quest of like finding your true self, finding your true happiness, following your own dreams, fulfilling your own cup, you're going to realize like, you know, you actually have like really good skills or talents, or you're going to find yourself to be very successful in career or with whatever it is you're doing in life. So I think you'll be very happy, even if this 7-year time frame seems like a very long time. I think once you decide to walk away from somebody in the next 8 months, it puts you on a fast track to figuring yourself out. And I think you'll be very happy in that energy. It almost feels like by the time you get to this energy, like after this 8-month time frame, you might not even actively have a person on your mind, or you might not even be actively looking for your soulmate in that time frame. I hope that makes sense. But I do see that there is somebody for you. It just might take a while, because I think some things have to be worked out first in order to get to that. So let me get some advice for you. We have, oh my gosh, we have older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. That could be something that helps you along your self-healing journey, or just helps you along in some way. This could be a mother, a grandma, a friend, a stranger that you might meet. Chair empty. Someone is leaving your life. Yeah, for some of you, you know, I said that in the very beginning, like you could actively be, oh my God, look at this. Someone new is entering your life. That was literally back to back. Someone is leaving your life and someone new is entering your life. So for some of you, you could actively be in a relationship right now and you're wondering, you know, when will it progress? But if you're in a relationship with somebody, I think in the next 8 months, you're going to realize it's not what you want, or it's not as fulfilling as you want. And I do think you're essentially walking away. So I want to say, if you are currently with somebody, or if you have somebody on your mind right now, that is not your soulmate. That is not your person, because that is a person that you are going to be walking away from. And there is a new person who is your actual person that's coming in later on. That's going to fulfill that, or fill that spot. I almost feel like you don't want to, oh, interesting. This came out for group 1 too. We have fly with a period of ill health and or depression. I was actually about to say, you could like deny it or dismiss it, or tell me that like, because I can definitely, like, I get this energy of somebody who does not want to believe it, but that's fine. You know, you don't have to believe anything. This is a general reading, but it does feel like in the current energy, you're very excited about something, or you're very sure. Like right now, when you're watching this, if you have a person in mind, you feel very sure, like down to your bones, you feel so sure that this is your person. But I think in 8 months from now, you're not going to feel that way. So I do get this energy of like somebody like rolling their eyes at me, or like dismissing me right now, or telling me like, oh no, that's not for me. But that's okay, because I think give it some time and you might start to view it the way that I'm reading the energy here. And this depression doesn't have to be as bad as it seems. I think it's more so that like you wanted something to work out with somebody and it didn't, so it makes you upset, you know, because you have to walk away from it. Or at the end of the day, this transformative journey could make you feel a little bit upset, but you know, it is taking you to where you need to go. It is taking you to a life that you are meant to live, a life where you will be happy and successful, and it is a different life than what you are currently living right now. Okay, group number 2, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I hope I hope my honesty is not taken in the wrong way. I'm a very honest reader. I don't tell you like what you want to hear. I tell you what the cards are telling me, you know, and sometimes I can be a little too honest, but I hope that this was not taken in the wrong way at all. But thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I have a Patreon if you're interested in exclusive readings, and the viewers on Patreon get to actually suggest the monthly readings that we have over there, so they're personalized, and yeah, it's super fun. So Patreon is linked in the description below. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested. And like I said, watch as many groups as you would like, but take good care of yourself. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in another reading soon, or maybe even in another group. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this purple seer stone, this is your group. Hello, group number 3. Thank you guys so much for being here. As I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about when will it happen. So whatever it is that you want to know, when will this happen, that is what we will be answering today. So go ahead and think about your question. And we're going to start off with an energy check, so that way I kind of have a better idea of what you are asking about, and it's also a way for you to know if this is your group, because if this really doesn't sound like what you're asking or what you are wanting to know about, then definitely check out a different group. And also keep in mind that this is a general reading, so I will do my best to see like exactly what you are asking, but you know, maybe it's a little vague, or maybe it's not like exactly what you're asking, but you know, as long as it's like in the same ballpark and it's like the same energy, then I think you can definitely watch the rest of the reading. So let's go ahead and get started with our energy check. So go ahead and think about your question. You can say it in your head, you can say it out loud, you could even pause the video if you want to like meditate on your question, but you know, set your intentions and we will try to answer your question. So let's get started here for group number 3. Let's see, what does group 3 want to know about today? What is group 3 asking about today? What is group 3 asking about today? Go ahead and think about your question. Hopefully you have your question. Okay, let's see. What is group 3 asking about today? The Oracle of Swords. So this is the Queen of Swords. What is group 3 asking? Oh, okay. The High Priestess. Lots of feminine energy going on with the Queen of Swords, the feminine, literally the divine feminine with the High Priestess. We have 62 and the number 2. Let's see, what is group 3 asking about today? The Lovers with the number 6. Okay, so 6 could definitely be a number that's significant to you, and the number 2 could also be significant. Wow, Wheel of Fortune, bottom of the deck with the number 10. Okay, I feel like for this group, one thing you could be asking, which this doesn't have to be what you're asking right now, but something that's coming through very strongly for this group is maybe sometimes you question if you're on the right track. Just in life, if you're on the right track, if you're doing the right things, you know, Spirit is saying you are on the right track. You are like exactly where you are meant to be in the present moment. So that could definitely be a confirmation for some of you if you are wondering if you're on the right track. Wow, 3 major arcana, and then we have the Queen of Swords. I think you're asking if like something is accurate. Like I don't know why it's coming through as like somebody's asking, is my perception accurate? Is what I'm thinking accurate? Is my intuition accurate? Am I seeing things accurately? Am I like envisioning things accurately? Because there's so much intuitive energy here that there could be moments where you don't know if it's your intuition, you don't know if it's wishful thinking. So there's this energy for group number 3 where you're like, is my intuition accurate? Is my perception accurate? Or am I just going crazy? Or am I like delusional? There's almost, yeah, there's like something here about like, is something accurate? Okay, so I'm trying to think about, this is one of those groups where I just have no idea. I think this could be like so many different questions. But we have the High Priestess, the Lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune. And it's interesting, in this there's 2 hands, and then in this image also there's 2 hands. And the Queen of Swords is also about our mind, because it's the air signs, all about our mind, our mental thinking, all of that. Even communication could fall under this. Yeah, I feel like you're asking about, like, is something accurate? Whether it's signs and synchronicities, whether it's your intuition, whether it's communication you're receiving from either the universe or like subliminal messages you're receiving from somebody else. You're almost like, I just keep thinking like, is this accurate or am I going crazy? So I'm going to leave it at that because I actually have no idea how else to interpret these cards. It does feel like there could be somebody else in the mix just because there's two here, there's two here. But for some of you, it's possible you don't know who this person is because this literally looks like out in space, right? Like, and the Wheel of Fortune talks about destiny. And even the Lovers talks about like two energetic beings that are connected. So it's very possible like you're picking up on somebody but you don't know them or you're not seeing them in the 3D, and any signs and synchronicities that you're picking up about this situation, it's all like, I don't want to say supernatural, but it's all like spiritual signs, synchronicities, messages, clues. And I think you're wondering like, is this accurate? Is my perception accurate about what I am witnessing, what I'm feeling, what my intuition is telling me? So that's what I'm going to leave this at, because I don't know. I feel like this is such a specific energy that like, if this is your group, like you would know. And that's why I feel like I don't want to dig too deep into trying to figure out like what this question or what you're asking about could be. Because this is very, very spiritual group. Even with, especially the High Priestess here. Very spiritually evolved energy that's coming through here. So if this is your group, you would just know, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So we're going to get 3 time frames. We're going to get a short time frame, we're going to get a medium time frame, and then we're going to get the longer time frame. So that way, you know, it could fall into like any of these 3 groups about when it could happen. If you want to claim one of the 3, that's okay. If you want to claim all of them, that's okay. But I like having like a timeline of when something will happen, so that way like you have some kind of guidance towards that as well. So we're gonna get 3 different time frames. So for group number 3's question, what is their, or for when will this happen for group 3, what is their short time frame? When will this happen? We have the Moon, and then we have the 4 of Cups. Again, another major arcana. Crazy. And this is, well, actually, I think the Moon is Pisces, but we have a lot of Cancer going on, because this is Cancer, this is Cancer. I think the Moon is Pisces, though. And then the Lovers is Gemini energy, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And then this is your fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So for group 3, what is their medium time frame of when will this happen? When will it happen? What is their medium time frame? What is their medium time frame? Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, this is my spiritual group. If you were drawn to group 2, you're very, very connected to the divine. Very connected to energies, very connected to your spirit guides, to the universe. Like, you are the divine feminine. And then what is the longer time frame? What is the longer time frame? Wow, 10 of Pentacles as the longer time frame. Okay. Whatever it is you're asking about for group 3, this is the timeline. Whether it's like, you know, it could be anything, because I feel like this is that flexible group that could be asking literally anything. This seems like it's gonna be a while, though. I will say this is definitely a slower energy. So for your shorter time frame, we have the Moon, and then we have the 4 of Cups. This is definitely giving like 4 to 6 months for your short time frame, because even the Moon It's a slow energy. It's a very deep, intense energy. And we have the number 10, 5, so 18. So I definitely feel like this is in like the next 4 to 6 months. 11 on the time, as I just looked up. So even for your fast time frame, I don't think this would be as fast as you are wanting. But I want to read what these cards are saying with the moon and the Four of Cups here. This message is that you are really seeking answers for something. And we kind of said that earlier too, like I'm giving you a little bit of a confirmation. You know, I said that earlier. But it feels like you're really like trying to like figure something out. You're trying to crack a code, or you're like in full on detective mode. You're trying to figure something out. You want the answers for something. And this could be something that you are picking up on energetically, psychically. And maybe that's why, like I said earlier, it's like difficult for you to figure out what's really happening in the 3D versus what's happening spiritually. But with the moon and the Four Cups, I really think you are like seeking answers. So for your short time frame, I really feel like this is 4 to 6 months from when you are watching this. And then for your medium time frame, I feel like this is 2 years with the High Priestess, because again, it's a very slow energy. It's Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, which makes it very slow. And we have a lot of Cancer out here. So the next 4 to 6 months to the next 2 years. And, you know, Pentacles are slow. I always view Pentacles as years, and Pentacles are even slower than water. So I want to say like 10 years. And I know that's such a long time to like wait for something, but I almost feel like for this group, maybe that makes sense for what you are asking. Like maybe this time frame of like years makes sense. Because if this is something that's more like spiritual, it's more in the 5D versus the 3D. It has a lot to do with the divine energy. Then maybe it makes sense that it's something that's in the longer time frame. But I definitely would say anywhere from the next 4 to 6 months to 2 years, but up to 10 years. And we even have a 10 up here. Now, I don't say that as in like it will take 10 years. I mean, this is a general reading. Nothing is set in stone. I think it could take up to that long, but it doesn't have to take that long. It could be 2 years. It could even be in the next 4 to 6 months. You know, so I think since, again, general reading, it's going to be different for everybody. You can claim all time frames. You can claim the shorter one. You can claim the longer one. It does feel like there's a lot of divine timing and divine intervention that's happening here. And maybe that's another reason they're leaving it so vague, because there's something you're trying to figure out. And even in this reading, they're like, nah, like we're still not going to tell you. Like you have to wait. Interesting. Let's clarify this 10 of Pentacles actually, because 10 years seems like a very long time. Can we clarify the 10 of Pentacles as a long time frame? Ace of Wands and the 9 of Cups. This also adds up to 10. That's crazy. The universe, your spirit guides, they're jokesters. I mean, they're like funny. They're trying to be so funny right now because I almost feel like there's something that you really want to know, but it's like the more that you try to figure it out, the more they keep throwing like curveballs your way because they don't want you to figure it out. And they're funny because I'm just like, can we clarify 10 of Pentacles as a slow energy? And they just gave me 2 cards that adds up to 10, but it's also a slower energy because Cups is very slow because it's water. I also think there's a message of like, it'll happen spontaneously. It's not something that you can control. And maybe that's why it feels like so messy, or it feels like it's taking a really long time because like you want it to happen sooner, or you're seeking answers for something to happen sooner. But they're saying, well, the longer you seek it, the more you're pushing it away because we're not going to tell you. and it'll happen more spontaneously when you're not expecting it. And I do think it won't take this long though, because water and fire is not as slow as earth. So even if you feel like it's taking forever, I think it'll still happen sooner than you think it will. But at the very least, I would say like 2 years. Anywhere from 4 to 6 months to 2 years. Okay. I feel like maybe I just confused you even more, but that is what I'm seeing. But it's interesting about the hands. Definitely feels like it's like two people connecting in some way. Okay, maybe, you know, because what I was thinking earlier is like if you're picking up on another person energetically and you're wondering like when will I meet them, it might not be for the next couple of years. It's like you're picking up on somebody or you're picking up on something intuitively, but it's not meant for you right now. It's going to take a little bit of time. And if 10 years, if I read this card as what the meaning is and not just the number 10, this could also indicate that the longer time frame is when you are established as a person. So that doesn't have to be 10 years. That could be 2 years, you know? That could be in a couple years. It doesn't have to be 10 years. It just kind of like when you are established, when you are stable, when you're independent, it's like when your things are working out in the 3D, maybe that's when this is going to come into your life. So it doesn't have to be 10 years. It could just talk about your own stability. Okay, group 3, let's get some advice. Shark, take care or there will be loss of material wealth. Okay, that was very specific, came out really fast. Camel, preserve and you will overcome problems. Love it. 2 animals came out at the exact same time. That's interesting. And you have a lot of animals here. Like literally there's a bunch of birds and butterflies on that. You have a bird here. You have the wolves on the moon. You have the dogs here. Lots of animals. Oh my god! As we're speaking about more animals, we have a beetle with good fortune. And then we have bridge with successfully overcoming a problem. 2 cards here talk about the word problem. I also think, oh my god, look, peacock. It says beware of great pride, but the peacock, I say that because there was a peacock on this, so that could be significant for some of you. What was I gonna say? Some of you could have, because in the very beginning, I think I said some of you are asking if you're on the right track in life. I think they're saying, yeah, you are definitely on the right track. You will overcome the problems and like you're definitely on the right track. Okay. And if there is a problem you're going through, like it will get better. Okay, group number 3, my divine people here. Thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. And I have a Patreon if you're interested. There's exclusive content where the viewers actually get to suggest the monthly readings. So there's exclusive readings every month and they're personalized because that's what people want to see over there. And there's always like some bonus content over there as well. So if you're interested in joining me on Patreon, the link will be in the description below. But thank you so much for letting me give you this reading, you guys. Take good care of yourself. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And I will see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this black obsidian, this is your group. Hello, group number 4. I'm going to set your crystal right there. Like I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about when will it happen. So the way we're going to do this is go ahead and think of a question that you want to ask about today. So whatever it is you are asking, we're going to see when will that happen. And excuse me, I'm already burping. And since this is a general reading, I will do my best to answer when will it happen. But like I said earlier, you know, since there's probably many questions of what's coming through, I will do my best to kind of explain all the scenarios that I see. But we're going to start off with an energy check first, so that way you can know if this sounds like what you're asking, because if you're asking something completely different than what the energy is showing me, then definitely check out a different group. But after the energy check, then we will go into the time frame and see, you know, when is this happening. So let's go ahead and get started. Think about what you're asking today, so you can say it out loud, you can say it in your head, you can even pause the video and, you know, take some time with it. You don't have to rush it. You can meditate on what you want to ask, but go ahead and ask it now as I'm shuffling. And like I said, you can think about it. You can always come back here. But let's go ahead and get started for group number 4. What is group 4 asking about today? Let's see, what is group 4 asking about today? What is group 4 asking about? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the energy check. What is group 4 asking about today? What is group 4 asking about today? We have the 6 of Cups with the number 41. Aw, the bear. What is group 4 asking about today? Five of Cups, okay. The number 40, so 41 and 40. We have heavy Scorpio energy here. What is group 4 asking about? Elder of Swords, so this is the King of Swords with the number 63. So we have Scorpio energy here with the 6 of Cups and the 5 of Cups, and then with the Elder of Swords, we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Oh, 5 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. You could be asking about when will you overcome something that was tough in your life. So this could have been like something that was mentally difficult, emotionally difficult, physically difficult. And I'm gonna just leave it at that, because since it is a general reading, there could be so many scenarios on things that were tough that we are trying to overcome. But essentially, it does feel like with all the Scorpio energy, it does feel like something happened, you know, and it wasn't what you expected. And I think it could have made you upset. It could have made you disappointed. It could have made you kind of like really go within, maybe even like crawl back into your shell is what I'm seeing for some of you. But it does feel like it was something that you had to deal with and grow from. And I feel like maybe you're asking about, when will I finally overcome this? Because with all this emotion here, and then we have the mind with the King of Swords here, and the King of Swords is very mentally stable, and they're very good at detaching mentally and emotionally. So you could be asking about like, when will I be able to like detach from the emotions of what I'm feeling and like really like become myself again, or just like feel mentally stable again, feel emotionally stable again, or at least to be able to like detach the two. Even with the 5 of Pentacles being bottom of the deck energy, it does feel like there was like a lack of something, or there was a disappointment in something that you know, you wanted it to go in a different route, or you wanted it to be better in some way. The bears are so cute because it's like a baby bear and it's growing up. This could even be like some deep-rooted trauma that some of you might be feeling, and you're just wondering like, when will I fully overcome this? When will I be free from my burdens? Like, that's kind of what it feels like. It's like, when will I be free from something that is kind of like haunting me, or that something that is sticking around for a long time, something that we're dwelling about, you know? It's kind of like, when will I be free of this burden? That's almost like exactly what I'm seeing. Or you could even, yeah, instead of you saying when will I be free, you could even be asking like, when will this get better? When will this be over? When will the hardships be over? When will this period of struggle be over? It could be emotional struggle, it could be financial struggles. It's kind of just like a, when will this improve overall? So whether it's like financial, emotional, healing, you know, it's like whatever it is, it's like, when will I move on from this? When will this be done? When will this get better? That's kind of essentially what I'm seeing here. So with the time frame, what we're gonna do is look at that, I broke the deck and we see the death. It does feel like, so yeah, it feels like a transformative energy. It feels heavy. It feels like something that you've been going through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a short time frame, I'm going to get a medium time frame, and I'm going to get a longer time frame. And that's how we're going to kind of like gauge this, when will it happen. And if I do see a message, like a very strong message coming through with the cards, I will obviously tell you the message. But if there's not a strong message, then I will just read it as time, and I won't really consider what the cards are saying. But again, if there's a strong message coming through, I'll definitely let you know. So for group number 4, and that's interesting that you guys chose the Obsidian, which is the solid black crystal, because even that can talk about like major transformative energies, going through something very difficult in your life. Even this like makes me feel like Scorpio, you know. So interesting. 5 of Pentacles, this is Taurus energy, so there's actually a lot of fixed signs going on. So it could be something you've been dealing with for a while, and maybe that's why it feels like a burden for some of you, because you've dealt with it for a very long time, or it's an energy that hasn't shifted in a very long time. Even this, like this image of a person that's looking much older versus like the little baby cub here. So it does feel like a journey of like a person growing up with some kind of a burden, or some kind of a sadness, or some kind of pain, or having to deal with it for a long time. So for group number 4, let's go ahead and see what is the short time frame for group 4's question of when will it happen. What is the short time frame? What is the short time frame for when will it happen? 2 cards at the same time. We have the Lovers with the number 6. And then we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Let's see what is the medium time frame for group 4's when will it happen. The Sun. You already have 2 major arcana. And then what is the longer time frame for group 4's when will it happen? What is their longer time frame? We have the 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, bottom of the deck. Okay. For the longer time frame of what you are asking, I could say 2 years is coming through for the longer time frame, because Pentacles are the slowest moving energy. So I would say 2 years. For the medium time frame, we have the Sun. So this is Leo energy. We also have the number 19 up here. And Leo is fire, and fire is very fast. And even with this also seems very fast, because this is Gemini energy with fire. And Gemini, again, being air sign, so this also feels very, very fast. With this being the number 19 and this being the Sun, I could even say like in a few weeks. Like for some of you, something is happening very quickly. 19 is making me think of 19 days. So something could progress with what you're asking in 19 days. You could be seeing results in something, or something is just shifting in 19 days, or the summertime. So Leo season, the next Leo season could be significant for what you're asking about. The summer seasons could be significant, or the next 19 days could be significant. So that's like 2 weeks and a half. That's very fast though, because then we're going from such a fast time frame to up to 2 years. It almost feels like you decide that something has to change almost immediately from the time you're watching this video, or your energy does shift from the time you're watching this video. It shifts pretty quickly into you like realizing what you have to do to bring about this change, or like what you have to do and to get the ball rolling here. It feels like you're going to realize that pretty quickly. But then from that start to maybe the end goal of being completely free from something, that could take up to 2 years. Because it almost feels like you're going to get the ball rolling relatively quickly, but the process of you completing something and like being done with it, leaving it behind, that could take up to 2 years. What I initially heard when I saw the Lovers and the Knight of Wands in the reverse is that you have to be a bit more intentional about something. So maybe if this is about like healing, you just have to be a little bit more intentional on how you're going about that, instead of it being reckless or impulsive, or just like, instead of it just being like random and you're not making progress and you're just doing things just to do things. Like, instead of it being like that, they want you to be more intentional with what you are doing, because maybe there's other things that you could be doing that could help you get to your end result a little bit quicker. Especially if it's healing. There's this energy, like an example I can use is going from relationship to relationship. Like, instead of trying to find temporary satisfactions and immediate rebounds for someone to like fulfill you, be a little bit more intentional about the type of energies that you're pursuing, or maybe even go a little bit deeper and try to figure out why you are pursuing, immediate satisfaction type situations. It almost feels like just be a bit more intentional with how you go about your healing, instead of just like sticking a band-aid on something. Now for a time frame with the Lovers, again, Gemini and fire signs, this is very quick. And this is the number 6. So I could even say in the next 6 days, even in the next week or less, I think, for some of you. So then if our medium time frame is the next 2 weeks, so I honestly think anytime from like now of you watching this video up until the next 6, or up until the next 2 weeks, I think something is shifting, but it is shifting for the better. So I think there's like a energetic shift that's happening. Like, you're realizing something, especially with 2 major arcana coming out. So in the next like 2.5 weeks, you're realizing something energetically, and then you will put that into play, and then that could play out over the course of up to 2 years. It could be quicker than that, because we have the shorter time frame here, but it could, if there is something that you really have to like detach from or heal from, then that could take up to 2 years. But I think something in your energy is shifting very quickly, and then like literally in the next 2 weeks. Okay. So along with the message of being more intentional with your actions, there's also a message of listen to your intuition in regards to this transformation or whatever it is you're seeking. Listen to your intuition and heal your inner child. Like, take it back to the source of the problem, or take it back to like a different time. Take it back from the very beginning. There's something here about healing your inner child will help you overcome something. Also, learning to detach. when you learn to detach from something, you will take things for like face value almost. Like I literally kind of heard spirit saying like it's not that deep, but it is deep. Like this is something that really matters to you. But I think the way it came through is that maybe if something was to happen, you would hold on to it and harbor it for a very, very long time. And they almost want you to realize that like see things for face value and realize like it's not that serious, or you don't have to carry it with you for a very long time. Like see for what it is, but leave it, kind of a message. So yeah. Okay, let's get some advice here for group number 4. Group number 4. Ooh, teapot. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex, and I immediately thought of like a therapist or somebody that you're like drinking tea with, but it doesn't have to be a therapist, but it just felt like somebody that you are like releasing the burdens to, somebody that you're like allowing to come into your space and like your mind and your heart, and you're like, it just feels like you're holding on to stuff, like you're holding on to a lot of baggage emotionally. And maybe that's why spirit was saying like you don't want to harbor things, you want to just like take something for what it is or for what happened, and maybe just like not bring it into the next stages, or not carry it with you for a long time in your life. So it almost feels like in therapy or with a very close friend, somebody that you can trust, it feels like you're just like spilling it out. Like even in this image, you know, it feels like this person was holding in all this water. They were just like absorbing it, and then suddenly it just broke, and they're just like the floodgates have opened up. And that's kind of what I was feeling, is like holding on to something for a very long time is not the best idea, because then it just gets heavier and heavier. But I do feel like maybe releasing this to somebody, you know, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a friend, it's like somebody that can be there for you in this situation. I think that'll help you out a lot. And especially those like childhood wounds, or like going to like the root cause of the issue, like you have to be open, and you have to like talk about it, go layer by layer to really get to the root cause of the problem. And I think that's what spirit is advising you to do. Advice for group 4. Oh my gosh, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goal. I feel like that's very like accurate to what I'm saying. Especially like be more intentional with your actions. You know, if you want to heal, allow yourself to like feel, allow yourself to release. So that definitely feels very on point with what we're talking about. Okay, 2 at the same time. Ooh, key, successful outcome to your problems. So I think either way, whatever it is that you're dealing with, this heavy energy, you will be successful in releasing it. And we have diamond. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. I love that. Okay, group number 4. Thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I hope it was helpful. And I hope it was like, yeah, I'm sorry if I said like it's not that deep. I didn't want that to come out in a rude way, but I think that was just like how I heard it. So that's like how I said it. But I hope that wasn't too inconsiderate or insensitive, because I know problems can run very, very deep, and you know, a lot of things that we hold on to are so deep. But I think that was spirit just trying to tell you, you know, we don't have to carry the heaviness, we don't have to carry the burden from chapter to chapter, from weeks on weeks, you know. So yes, I hope that didn't come out the wrong way, but thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I really see that things are turning out in a positive way for you, so I really love that. I do have a Patreon if you're interested in exclusive readings, where the viewers over there get to suggest their monthly readings. The link to that will be in the description below. So since it's viewer suggested, all the readings are super personalized over there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in another reading. And keep in mind, you can watch another group if you would like as well. Bye guys. Hey guys, if you chose this white jade, This is your group. Hello, group number 5. Thank you guys so much for being here. Your support really means the world to me. As we're starting off today, this is all about your when will this happen. So go ahead and think about a question. Think about what you want this answer for. And basically, we're going to start off with an energy check to see what are you asking. And then if you feel like the energy check is accurate, then stick around and we will get to the time frame of when things could, when it could happen. But if you feel like the energy check is not accurate, then definitely check out a different group, so that way you're on the same page with like what's being talked about here. So first we're going to start off with the energy check. Go ahead and ask your question. You can think about it in your head, you can say it out loud, you can even pause the video if you want to like meditate on it or really like set in your intentions of what you are asking today. But basically, go ahead, ask your question, and I will start to shuffle, and then we will see what you're asking about. Oh, 111 on the time as I said that. So for group number 5, what is group 5 asking about? What is group 5 asking about? What is group 5 asking about today? Okay, let's see. What is group 5 asking about? Group 5 with this white jade. What is group 5 asking about today? What is group 5 asking about today? We have 9 of Wands, the number 30. What is group 5 asking about today? Oh, wow, 9 of Cups with the number 44. We have 2 9s. What is group 5? Wait, did I say 4? What is group 5 asking about today? I don't know if I accidentally. Whoa, that's a lot. What is group 5 asking about today? Okay. Wow, the Chariot, number 7. Okay. I want to clarify this 9 of Cups. That was very fast. Ace of Wands. It feels like you're asking about your next chapter in life. It's kind of like, again, it's a general reading, so, you could word your question in a different way, but I think like the overall gist is like, when am I starting my next chapter? Because with the 9 of Wands and then the Ace of Wands, so this is making me think of like the 10 of Wands. It does feel like the end of some kind of a chapter in your life. But with the 9 of Cups talking about emotional fulfillment, and then with the Ace of Wands talking about that spark again, it almost feels like in your current energy in life, you're very complacent. Like things are good, with the 9 of Cups, and even the way in this image, the 9 of Wands, I think this is a beaver or like an otter or something. It's like sleeping. It looks very at peace. It just feels like it's very content. And the 9 of Cups talking about emotional satisfaction. And even the 9 of Wands talks about you worked very hard to get here, but it almost feels like either you've hit your peak or it's like kind of boring now. Like you're just like kind of complacent, and it's just like, that spark is not really there anymore, and you are seeking a new spark to have a new chapter in your life. That's kind of what's coming through. I feel like you're in a very happy energy. You're in a very peaceful energy. I don't think this is a very chaotic situation. your life, it feels, yeah, it feels happy, peaceful. It feels like you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish. Feels like you're enjoying your life. You could even be doing this for some time now, maybe for even a couple of years. For some of you, of like living the same life, but it's like you want things to progress. With the Chariot and the Ace of Wands here, it's like you're ready for that next adventure. You're ready for that next spark to hit you, for that next like exciting, you know, that exciting energy, because it feels like before this current chapter you had that, you know, like a spark led to this chapter and you were very excited about it at one point, and I think you're still happy with it, but it just feels like you're kind of bored. You're just like, you know, things haven't necessarily been that exciting, and maybe you've hit your peak on the most you can do in this current chapter. So it feels like you're ready for that spark, you're ready for excitement, you're ready to like move forward into something new or start something new in your life right now. So I think essentially you're asking about like, when is the next chapter in my life gonna start, or like, yeah, like when will that be? When will that happen? And I think you're very excited for this next chapter. You could even be like itching for something new, itching for a new adventure, itching for travel, itching to get out of your current environment, or itching to just like do more than what you are doing on a regular basis. But I think like the best way to describe this energy is just like bored. You've hit your seat, oh my God, you've hit your peak and you're bored and you're just kind of like hanging out. You're just, you know, it's just like, you're just hanging, you know? So that's kind of how it's coming through. Okay. So let's go ahead. That was very quick. And I think this is like a very easy energy. Like some of the other groups were kind of like heavy, like heavier energies, heavy energies to unpack, heavy questions to unpack. But I mean, I got this done in 6 minutes. So that was very straightforward, very easy. It's so funny because I feel like the way this horse is like one conjoined horse, but it has like two upper bodies and like two heads. It feels like you are ready to do anything. Like you're ready to go this way or that way. Like you're just ready for something new, and it's like you're flexible to do anything or to go anywhere, or like nothing's really like holding you back right now. And for some of you, you could even think back to like maybe when you were younger, or when you were that person that started this current chapter that you are now complete with. You know, you think back to that spark or that excitement, and you're just craving that again, craving that excitement about life again. Okay, so the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna pull 3 time frames, or like timelines, I guess. We're gonna start off with the shortest time frame, so this is like the quickest that this next chapter could happen for you. And then we're gonna go into the medium time frame of like the medium time, you know, and then we're gonna go into the longer time frame of like, this is potentially the longest stretch of you waiting for this new chapter, or for whatever it is you're asking, you know, the shortest time frame, the medium time frame, and the longest time frame. And again, since this is a general reading, it's possible I didn't explain your question like to a T, but just kind of, you know, if it fits, it fits. Okay, so let's see. For group number, whoa, that was fast. I don't know if I want to take that. Let me shuffle really quick. For group number 5, let's look at their time frames for their question. Okay, for group number 5, what is their shortest time frame of when will this happen? For group 5, what is their shortest time frame? For group 5, what is their shortest time frame? There's that 9 of Cups again. 9 of Cups in the Sun, okay. What is their medium time frame? Wow, that flew out. Judgment. And then what is their longer time frame? Oh my gosh. What is the longer time frame here for group 5? What is the longer time frame for group 5? Wow, so many major arcana. I'm actually really shocked. We have 1 with the Chariot, we have 2 with the Sun, 3 with Judgment, 4 with the High Priestess. You have 4 major arcana, and if the 9 of Cups didn't come out, you would have had all your answers as major arcana. That's crazy. So it definitely feels like this next chapter is happening. You know, like you're not going to be stuck in the same spot forever. But it almost feels like maybe you want it to happen faster than what the universe has in store for you. It's almost like you in the physical, you in the 3D, it's like you are becoming a little restless or a little impatient, and you want it to happen quicker than the universe's time frame. So there's almost this energy of like staying a little patient, and even just like surrendering and like trusting the universe that they have your best interest in mind, and like they know what you want, and to like trust them that it'll happen, maybe not as fast as you want it to happen. Like it almost feels like, yeah, like you are rushing it, or you in the physical world want it to happen quicker than what I'm seeing energetically. So for your shortest time frame, we have the 9 of Cups, and then we have the Sun. For the 9 of Cups, I mean, this is a very slow energy. Cups is very slow. And the message that I'm seeing here, because we have the 9 of Cups out again, you know, the 9 of Cups talks about emotional fulfillment, especially if you worked very hard to get to where you're at in life. The universe is saying, you know, appreciate what you have, because this is what you wanted at one point in your life. And yes, like we're human, and it totally makes sense that we're going to outgrow things, or we're going to feel bored, or we're going to just feel like we're ready for something more now. But the universe wants you to remember that like this is exactly what you once wished for, prayed for, dreamed for. Like this is exactly what you wanted at one point in time. So appreciate what you have, instead of like waiting for that next thing. It's almost like they want you to have a bit of a perspective shift, because they want you to appreciate what you have in front of you, instead of like dreaming for the next thing that we don't know when it's going to get here. You know, they don't want you to like miss what you have in your current energy, because you're so busy waiting for the next thing to come in. And they really want you to appreciate what you have right now. It's also this energy of like living in the moment. Like that's coming through very strongly. You know, they're saying live in the moment, appreciate what you have, how hard you worked to get here, and just like take it in a little bit longer, because it does feel like you're gonna have to wait a little bit. I don't know if your new chapter that you are seeking will happen right away. So with the 9 of Cups being a slower energy, I almost feel like this would be like the next 9 months, and that's the shorter time frame. So I think because they're saying even your shorter time frame would be a while, to really appreciate what you have. The Sun, I don't know why, but in this sense, like, because the Sun is Leo, and Leo is pretty fast. You know, it is fire, and fire is very quick. I think the summertime could be significant for this group in their timeline. Let me come back to the Sun. For your medium timeline here, we have Judgment, which is Scorpio energy, and Judgment is also kind of slow. We have the number 20 here. So, as this as a time frame, I feel like this could even be talking about like 20 months. So like almost 2 years. And even the High Priestess with the number 2, and this also being a water sign and just a slower energy, even the High Priestess is making me think of 2 years. So I feel like the longest time frame for you is 2 years, and the shortest time frame is 9 months. But there is a very strong message coming through that you have to surrender. It almost feels like you're creating friction when you are trying to force something to happen, like you're forcing movement, you have two heads sticking out and you're like, I'm ready to go either way, like let's go, I'm ready. It's like when you are forcing movement in your timeline and it's faster than Spirit's timeline, then you're actually causing friction and you're actually slowing down the entire thing. Because there's this energy of like, you're exactly where you need to be right now. And maybe for some of you, you have to kind of be there for a little bit longer than you want to. But with Judgment, it feels like you need to release the need to control the timeline. Or release the need for it to happen fast. And even with the High Priestess, because we see so much major arcana, that's why I feel like there is the universe's timeline is in play. And even with the High Priestess, this is talking about our intuition. And the universe is telling you, your intuition will eventually guide you to where you need to go, to the steps you have to take. But it feels like you just need to breathe, like just take it in and just like stay put for a second. Because there is something happening in your current energy and in your current environment. There is something happening for like the greater good. And they're saying you might not realize it, you might not see it, but just because you don't see it right now doesn't mean there's not a bigger picture. And then when we are just so focused on the next thing, we're not appreciating what we have right now. And they just want you to be happy in your current energy and just take it in and be present in your current reality instead of wishing and dreaming for the next thing to happen. It will happen. But with all this major arcana, the universe is telling you, like, honey, I got my own timeline. Like, I have my own timeline and it's going to take a second, but you will get to where you want to go. And to just have a bit of a perspective shift for the current energy. But I will say your shortest time frame is 9 months. And then the longer time frame is 2 years. So anywhere in the next 9 months to the next 2 years for this question that you have. Okay, so let's go in with some advice here for group number 5. Let's get any advice for group 5. Ooh, wealth. It also feels like you can find a spark in your current environment. Like, you don't have to go and start a whole new chapter or do all these new things just to find that spark again. You could try new things in where you are right now to find that spark. Ooh, Secret Admirer. This was the other one that fell out with the vase. Ooh, July. That could be an actual time frame. And I guess that makes sense because like summertime is in July. So July could be significant. Maybe next July, the July after that July. Okay, hold on. So I have another pile here. So let's get any more advice. I think this is the first group to get a month card. Vine. Seek out information that will help you. All right, let's get one more. The initial V could be significant. Cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. You know what's so interesting? It's like you think you want something right now, but maybe that could actually like hurt you. Maybe it's actually not in your best interest if you were to have that thing that you want so badly right now. And the universe is actually protecting you. You know, there is a bit of a perspective shift. I said that earlier, but I think for this group, a perspective shift would help as you are in like this in between limbo period, as you would maybe call it. But okay, group number 5, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I have a Patreon if that's something you're interested in. There are exclusive readings over there every month, and the viewers on Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings, so all of the readings are personalized for like what people want to see over there. And occasionally the extended readings that I do here on YouTube, the extendeds go on Patreon. So you get access to a lot of bonus content over there. If that's something you're interested in, the link to Patreon is in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Take good care of yourself, you guys. Please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys. If you chose this blue Caribbean calcite, this is your reading. Hello, group number 6. I'm going to set your crystal right here. As I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about when will it happen. So go ahead and think about your question. We will try to get an answer for whatever it is you are asking, and it'll be the time frame of what you are asking about. So we're going to start off with an energy check, and that way we can both kind of like get an idea of what you're asking about. And if you feel like the energy check does not sound like your question like at all, then definitely check out a different group. But if it does sound like your question, or at least like, you know, it seems like it's in the same energetic field of what you are asking, then definitely stick around for the timeline. So let's get right into it. You can ask your question out loud. You can say your question in your head. You can even pause the video if you want to like meditate on your question, but go ahead and set your intentions. And I'm going to shuffle this deck, so go ahead and ask your question as I am shuffling. Let's see, for group number 6 that chose the blue Caribbean calcite, what is group 6's question? What is group 6's question? Group 6. What is group 6 asking about today? All right. What is group 6's question that they are asking about today? 8 of Swords with the number 57. What is group 6's question? Oh my. Okay, cards are just flopping. We have another 7. We have the Champion of Cups with the number 47. So 7 could be significant, or like 57, 47 could be significant. Let's get one more card here. What is group 6 asking about? What is group 6 asking about? Oh, fell on me. 4 of Pentacles, 67. Oh my god, we literally have 47, 57, 67. That's crazy. And the High Priestess, bottom of the deck. Okay. So this is the 8 of Swords, this is the Knight of Cups, and this is the 4 of Pentacles. This is Capricorn energy, water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have Cancer again with the High Priestess here. 333 on the time as I'm looking up. And then the 8 of Swords is Gemini energy. I feel like you're overthinking something. It's like you really want to do something, but you are overthinking it, or you are trapped by fear and you're trapped in your comfort zone. That's how that's coming through. It's like you're afraid to get out of your comfort zone, but you really want to do something, or you are intuitively being called to go do something, right? Whether it's like in a different city, different country, whether it's a new job, whether it's school, whether it's traveling, whatever it is, it just feels like you are intuitively being called somewhere, being called to go do something, but you are scared. You are, yeah, you're like trapped in fear, and you're scared about going to go pursue something. And it does feel like the fear, like even the way this lion is caged, it feels like the fear that you have of leaving your comfort zone It's actually trapping you and holding you back. And then that's causing you to feel very like overwhelmed or even conflicted, because you feel like you have to go do something because you're being called to go do something. Or even your heart, you know, emotionally, your heart is somewhere. Like you want to go do that really badly. You feel like you would enjoy it, you would love it, you really want to do it. But it's like your comfort zone or negative beliefs, negative mindsets, fear of the unknown. Like it could be so many things that are causing you to feel mentally trapped. But it's like, because of that, you're not able to pursue the thing you want to pursue. And you're almost like looking at it from a distance of like, oh, like I would love to do that. Or, oh, that would be fun. Like I wish I could go do that. It's like you're looking at it in a very sad way, because you almost feel like it's not meant for you. But the universe is saying it is meant for you. There's a reason you're longing for this. There's a reason you're being called to go do something or to pursue something. So it is meant for you, but you are holding yourself back by being a prisoner in your own mind in a way. And I love all these like synchronicities. We literally have the divine feminine, which is your intuition. So the universe is confirming to you through this high priestess card, like, yes, you are being called to go do this thing. And then we have 47, 57, 67. So it's like more synchronicities that are, and I like that it's like ascending numbers. And you see how in these images here, it's like this being is trapped in a cage. They're trapped, they cannot escape. And then in this one, it's like this being looks like it's longing for the big city, or it's longing for change, it's longing for that dream, that goal that they once had. But they're unable to get themselves out of the cage, out of the prison that they are in. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I do want to say one more message, is that for some of you, there could be this, like that, okay, you might have to choose between a relationship or a person, like somebody that you are in a relationship with, versus pursuing a new job, pursuing a new chapter in your life, moving, pursuing your dreams. It almost feels like for some of you, because we have the Knight of Cups here, it feels like you have to make a decision between, okay, do I stay back and do I continue this relationship with the person, or do I choose to walk away and go and pursue my dreams? It almost feels like you can't have both. For some of you, it just feels like there's a lot of like being conflicted. Like, do I stick to the person that I love, or do I follow my dreams? That doesn't have to be for everybody, but I am sensing that for some of you, that there could be like a relationship dynamic that's involved here. If not, then it could totally just be what I said in the very beginning about your own comfort zone. So for our time frames, we're gonna get 3 time frames. I don't know why that's such a tongue twister for me. So 3 time frames. We're gonna get a short time frame, a medium time frame, and then a longer time frame. So you can claim whichever one that you want. But that way it kind of gives us like a timeline of like how fast or how slow something might progress here. So let's go ahead and get started for group 6. Let's get the shortest time frame for group 6. When is it happening? Let's get the shortest time frame. We have the King of Wands. Let's get the medium time frame. 2 of Pentacles. And then the longer time frame. Whoa, that just like flipped around. The longer time frame here for group 6. You got 2 at the same time. Bottom of the deck, 9 of Pentacles. Longer time frame, 6 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. Oh, I think this could happen quick. I think this could be something that happens in less than a year because there's already that energy of like you're trying to make a decision. Like it almost feels like you're actively going back and forth, or you're actively in this energy of like, okay, I need to do something about this quickly. So this definitely, the time frame seems very short actually compared to some of the other groups, because you could be actively trying to, make something happen or make this decision. Oh wow, like yeah, the Chariot, fast forward movement. So for the short time frame, this is like immediately. The King of Wands is a very fast energy, and Wands is the fastest. Well, there's a lot of debate on like, is Wands the fastest or is Swords the fastest, but in this scenario, the Wands is the fastest. So this could happen like right now. And the King of Wands, this is you. This is your own personal power, and this is your own like confidence. This is you saying, okay, I'm gonna go do this and I'm doing it now. So the shortest time frame is literally whenever you decide that you are ready to do this and you're like not changing your mind about it. It almost feels like you have to be a little bit strict with yourself, or you have to have like it's almost like false confidence. It's almost like, okay, I gotta go, like I can't change my mind even if I get scared. It's kind of like that ripping the band-aid off and to just do it. Because if you decide that you want to go do it, you could do it right now. You could do it today, tonight, this morning, whenever you're watching this video. Because it feels like you're on the precipice, like you're on the ledge of making the decision, or like going through with it, or taking that leap of faith. You're right there. You just need that push. You just need that nudge. You just need that boost of confidence. And that's what would get you out of this mental rut that you could possibly be in. So the shortest time frame is literally whenever you decide that you have that confidence and you're going to go do it. And you could do it right now. You could do it today. Very fast energy. And that's what I feel like with the Eight of Swords. It feels like the longer you sit around and you think about it and you dwell on it, you're going to hesitate more and more. Like, this is the type of energy that you literally have to rip off the band-aid, because if you sit there and think about it and put too much time and energy, and especially mental energy, into it, it's just going to cause you to get scared. Like, scareder, I don't know if that's the word. You're just going to continue to get more scared and continue to be pushed back into that mental prison, versus if you would just rip that band-aid off and just do it and just take that leap of faith, then you wouldn't think so much about it and it wouldn't be such a tough decision. Because I think deep down you already know what you want to do. Like, even your intuition is like pointing you to something. Whether there is a relationship involved, whether it's just your own anxieties and fears, you know that you want the other more than those two things. And I think if you were to just do it, that would be a lot easier on you. A medium time frame would be 2 months. So if you were going to like sit with it and think about it a little bit more about your decision, your medium time frame is 2 months with the Two of Pentacles here. Capricorn season could be significant for some of you, but 2 months. Yeah, even that's pretty quick. I definitely feel like that's very quick. This definitely does not feel like 2 years. I think that would be way too long because we have such like fast energy. I definitely think it's like 2 months. And then for your longer time frame, we see the Six of Swords and we see the Five of Cups. Your longest time frame would be like, I would say up to a year. Maybe like the next, or no, not even a year. I could even say this as the next 6 weeks to the next 5 months. So your shortest time frame would be right now, today. Your medium time frame is 2 months. The longest time frame is the next 6 weeks, even though I know that kind of overlaps with the 2 months, but 6 weeks to 5 months is your longest time frame. And what I think that you are going to do it, you're going to leave. So whether it's you leaving your comfort zone, or if it's you leaving a relationship behind, I think you're going to leave 100%. And I think you've already made up your mind, but you're just second guessing it. But I do think in like at least the next 6 months, you will, or I mean at the most the next 6 months, you will already be moving away. And that's what the Six of Swords talks about, is you have decided to move on, to move away. Physically move, if you're moving to a big city, moving to a different location, or this could be mentally, emotionally, energetically moving on from something, such as a person. And then the Five of Cups, there is some sadness, but I think the sadness is more so like slight nostalgia, because I don't think you're sad. It's kind of that bittersweet energy when you decide to like officially end something, and right before you start the new chapter, you're kind of in like that limbo. You're kind of nervous. You're like, wait, like, oh, I'm kind of sad. I'm gonna miss everybody. I'm gonna miss my friends, or like I'm gonna miss my hometown. I'm gonna miss my ex. Like it's like you're gonna miss something. There is this bittersweet energy to it, but it's not keeping you back. That's why this is not like a heartbreak. It's not like major sadness, because you're excited about this new beginning, because it's what you've wanted to do. Yeah, so I think your time frame is like right now to the next 2 months to the next 5 months max. 5 to 6 months max. And I think you will find the courage, the confidence, realize your self-worth, realize what you want, what you deserve, and you're going to go for it. You're going to do it. With the Chariot, you're moving forward and you're pursuing the life that you know you want to pursue. Okay, let's get some advice. For group number 6, let's get some advice here. I'm really hearing like fake it till you make it, because all you need is that little bit of confidence to just like get you to accept something, or get you to, you just need a little bit of confidence. And I think you could get the ball rolling really quick. Ooh, Beryl, you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. That makes a lot of sense, because we were saying you are emotionally and spiritually, energetically being called to go do something else. So it could definitely feel, and it could definitely be because your current energy is lacking. You don't have enough right now. That's why it's like you've already made up your mind, because you know you're already unfulfilled with what you're currently doing. Ooh, wind chimes with peace and harmony. I love it. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere. So this could definitely be a person you're walking away from, because for some of you, I very strongly feel like there is a connection, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, that you are walking away from, or it's like that person is trying to hold you back somehow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with what I just said. Scissors, disappointment, and some affair. It does feel like you have to cut somebody off, or you have to cut something off in order to move forward. But you will. I do think you will move forward. So group number 6, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. I hope it was helpful. I do have a Patreon if you are interested in exclusive monthly readings. The viewers over there get to suggest the monthly readings, so it's a bit more personalized. If that is something you're interested in, the link is in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. There is always new bonus content over there. And yeah, wait, is that everything I was gonna say? I think that's everything. Okay. Have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this hot pink agate, this is your group. Hello, group number 7. Thank you guys so much for being here. So like I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about when will it happen. So go ahead and think about your question, whatever it is you want to know a little bit more about, whatever you want to know a time frame about, go ahead and think about it. We're going to start off with an energy check, and that's a good way for you to know if this is your group or not. So far, all the groups have had a very specific energy, so I think you would know almost right away if that is your group or not. If it is, then continue to watch and we will go ahead to the timeline situation. If it's not and it does not sound like your question, then definitely check out a different group. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to shuffle this deck. So go ahead and think about your question. You can say it out loud. You can say it in your head. You could pause the video if you want to. I just noticed that this candle is burning very brightly for this group. I just saw 111 as I looked up. It has not done this for any of the other groups. If anything, it was burning kind of like dim for most of the readings, and now I feel like the flame is super tall, which is very interesting because I haven't done anything different to it. So group 7, there could be something important for you to listen to today. Yeah, interesting. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, so you can ask your question out loud, you can say it in your head, you could pause the video if you want to, and you could like meditate on your question as well. Just do whatever you need to set the intentions for your question. So I'm gonna go ahead and start shuffling. So go ahead and think about your question now for group number 7. Group 7, go ahead and think about your question. What does group 7 want to know? Let's see, what is group 7 asking about today? What is group 7 asking about today? Okay, I am ready. Let's see. What is group 7 asking about today? What is group number 7 asking about today? What is group number 7 asking about today? I'm seeing the color orange, and I'm also seeing it as like neon. So a neon orange sign could be significant, or like neon orange in some way could be significant, whether it's like a neon orange car or like somebody's nails or like accessories. There's just something about like neon orange, but it's like glowing. That's why I thought of a sign at first, but that could be significant in some way. Let's see, for group 7, what is group 7 asking about today? Group 7 with this hot pink agate. What is group 7 asking about today? Let's see. What is group 7 asking about today? Okay, let's see. What is group 7 asking about today? What is group 7 asking about? What is group 7 asking about? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll take that since that one flipped up. We have the Ace of Wands with the number 22. What is group 7 asking about? The Chariot. Oh my gosh. And then we have the Champion of Pentacles. So let me get one more card. What is group 7 asking about? Can we clarify this energy? The 10 of Cups. This is very broad, but maybe it's because there could be multiple people watching this group. So I'm getting the question in a very broad sense, but I think like energetically it could align with quite a few of you asking this question, but it feels like the question, or like the energy seems like, when am I going to find what I'm looking for? That's what came through very strongly. That's what I'm seeing here, is when am I going to find what I'm looking for? And everyone is going to be looking for something different, but I think at the end of the day, for this group, for group 7, the main message or the main theme that I see here is you're wondering, when am I going to find what I'm looking for? So for example, it could be anything. It could be a relationship, it could be the right job, it could be the right home, it could be the right friends, it could be so many things, but it feels like there is some kind of a lack in your life, and you are wanting more, or you're wanting that thing. For some of you, it could be a relationship, it could be emotional satisfaction, it could be love, it could be friendship, it could be spark, adventure, spontaneity, it could be stability, finances, it could literally be anything. I feel like this is one of those energies where like it just boils down to, when am I going to find what I'm looking for? And there could be a million scenarios on what somebody is looking for. Wow, I think that's the quickest I have gone through, because that's like all I'm seeing. I feel like there's not much more to that. This is just straight up, when am I going to find what I'm looking for? Or when is it going to happen? So I will leave that up to you to fill in the blanks. So I'm just going to get right into the timeline. So we're going to be looking at 3 different timelines, and it could definitely, bring out a much larger picture. That's what it did for some groups, but then other groups it didn't. So, we'll see how it plays out here, but we're going to be looking at a short time frame, a medium time frame, and a longer time frame. So, you can claim all of the time frames, you can claim one over the other, you don't have to claim any at all, that's totally okay. But let's go ahead and see for group number 7. This very straightforward message of, when is group 7 gonna find what they're looking for? So let's go ahead and get a short time frame. What is the short time frame for group 7? We have the 2 of Wands, Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands. Okay, what is the medium time frame for group number 7? The 6 of Wands. Wow, lots of fire coming out already. 2 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and then what is the long time frame? Oh my gosh. The Moon. Let's clarify the Moon for the longer time frame. Ace of Cups. Three of Swords, 10 of Cups. Okay, you know what it is? I think because this is a general reading, and maybe this is going to be a more popular group, because I'm feeling like more energies here versus for the other groups. So it seems like there's just different answers and different timelines. So this actually makes sense. So depending on what it is you're looking for, whether it's love, whether it's finances, career, whether it's like emotional satisfaction, emotional commitment, emotional fulfillment, or if it's more physical, if it's adventure, whatever it is, I think that the timeline depends on where you are in your healing journey. So if you have like just gotten out of a relationship, for example, then your timeline is probably going to be a little bit longer. Or if you have been single for a while or something like that, then maybe your timeline is a little bit shorter. So again, just like kind of think about where you are in your own situation. For your short time frame, it feels like, so Wands is very fast, and this is Aries. So Aries season could be significant. Aries is also the first house, and I feel like the short time frame is whenever you take action. think there was another group that got that message, but for whatever it is that you want, it's like whenever you take action towards it, that's when you'll find it. So whatever it is you're looking for some of you, it really relies on you. And when I say that, like, it doesn't have to be that like it's relying on you to like make a move towards somebody. It could be, but I think it also goes back to that message of healing as well, because when you heal, you know, and you have gone through your healing journey, that's when you can allow new love or new relationships to come into your life. So when I say like it's up to you, that also talks about healing, because it's up to you to start your healing journey. It's up to you to do the inner work that needs to be done in order to attract and manifest the results that you want. So when I say like it's up to you for the short time frame, again, it could be as simple as you reaching out to the person that you want to talk to, or the love interest that you have, you reaching out to them. But it could also be as complex as you starting that healing journey, because that's what's going to lead you down the path of finding what you need to find. So for the short time frame, I could even say like 2 days. I mean, this is very quick. Wands is a very fast energy, so I could even say in like the next few days. And there's a lot of personal power here, so I think if this is not like something physically transforming in the next few days, this could even just be your perspective is shifting in the next few days, or you're realizing, oh, I do need to like take care of myself in a certain way, or I do need to heal certain things in order to attract what I want. So even if it's not like physical things that are going to transpire in the next few days, it's like that perspective shift, that clarity, that aha moment. Like there's going to be something that happens in the next few days that helps you realize, okay, there is more I need to take. I need to heal my broken heart first. I need to work on something else first. I need to start that project in order for it to take off, to become my dream career. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that like the end result will be in your hand in 2 days, but it feels like you will get the ball rolling towards the bigger picture in just a few days' time. And your medium time frame is coming up as the 6 of Wands. So this is Leo energy. Leo season could be significant. The summertime could be significant. So yeah, July going into August could be a significant time frame for accomplishing something. You could also start off in Aries season, because I think Aries season is in like April or something. I know it's a little bit earlier than Leo season. So it's like you could start something in Aries season, and then maybe it really starts to pick up in Leo season. But if this is 2 days, then this could even be up to like, because I don't want to say 6 days, because then that's very quick compared to the 2 days. So maybe like 2 weeks, maybe like a little double this time frame. But if Aries season and Leo season are just a few months apart, it could even be that time frame of like a few weeks. This could even be 6 weeks. And then, but it feels quick from this to this. It feels very quick. At least making progress towards this feels very quick. So then we have the Moon and the Ace of Cups as your long time frame. And the Moon is number 18, and this is a 1. And they're both water. Cancer season could be significant. I know Cancer season is before Leo season. So I think after Leo, the next water season is Scorpio. Right? Yeah, because then it goes Virgo and then Libra and then Scorpio. So from Leo season to Scorpio season, or even from Aries season to Scorpio season, could be significant. I think your longer time frame could be up to a year. Because it almost feels like if the necessary healing is not being done, or if like, yeah, if you're not, healing that broken heart, or even starting that project, or whatever it is you're trying to do, if you're not doing the behind the scenes work for it, then it's like you're pushing that end goal farther and farther away. So that's why I feel like a lot of you could just be up here in a quicker time frame. But if you're really, dismissing that healing, or really dismissing your intuition, and you're not self-aware, or just like, yeah, like dismissing some major transformations that need to happen in order for you to get to that what you want, it feels like it could take you a while until you realize, oh, I actually have to heal, not just put a band-aid on something. So it could take you up to a year to get your end result. But it feels like there's a lot of independent work, there's a lot of inner work, and there's a lot of like you work that needs to get done, or else it's just going to get mucky and muddy and like really just even more annoying, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not smooth at all. If it was to get all the way down here to where it's like a whole year has passed and you're still not making progress, then it's like there are serious internal things that need to be worked on. But I think a lot of you are sitting up here to find success very soon, and because a lot of you have self-awareness and you realize, okay, certain things have to be done. It's also kind of like common sense too, because like if we're looking at this in the sense of career, like you can't get to that end product. Say you want to have a successful business. You can't get to the end product of wanting a successful business if you've never even created your first product, or you've never even launched that first thing, or you've never even like taken the first steps. That's kind of like common sense. Like, to get to that end goal of a successful business, like you have to have a product, or you have to have something you're selling or creating. So I think that's like what that brainstorming is. That'll happen sooner than later. And I love that the cards that we got are 2 3s, but the cards that we got here are the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles. For those of you asking about a relationship and when you're going to get that relationship, it's after you have healed, especially if you have to heal from past relationships, or healed just anything, childhood wounds, just anything that falls under the category of healing. And then for those of you that are asking for more to do with finances or career, then it's like, well, we got to get started. We have to put in the hard work. We have to create our brand, create our products. We have to study for the end results that we want. So it's just really reminding us that you have to work for what you want. But the sooner you put in the work, the sooner you can get your results, versus the long time frame would be like if you really did not put any time or effort into what you wanted. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some advice for group number 7. Cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. That's nice. Another group actually got that one. I don't remember which group. Ooh, Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. So that actually goes very well together with Cobweb and Hand. Let's see, any other advice here for group number 7? Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Isn't it funny when you like pursue what you need to pursue in order to get your end goal, the opportunities or the paths will kind of automatically open up for you? And I think that's like the ultimate message here. It's like we really have to work for what we want, whether it's physical or emotional or spiritual. It says Claw, be careful, do not take risks. Interesting. Maybe you have to like calculate the risks involved in something. Kangaroo, with unsettled times, need to plan ahead. That could also, I could also interpret this kangaroo card as in that, like, maybe the current energy is more stagnant. This wanting and waiting energy is more stagnant, and we need to plan ahead for the end results that we actually want. Okay, group number 7. Thank you guys so much for letting me give you this reading. I know it was kind of brief and on a broader scale, but I hope that it made sense. I hope that if there are multiple people watching this group, this actually feels like maybe the more popular group so far. So it's possible there are many people watching this, and that's why I couldn't get one specific question or one specific idea of what's going on. But at the end of the day, I hope it was helpful. I hope that you got some kind of a message out of this. I have a Patreon if you guys are interested in exclusive content. The viewers over there get to suggest the monthly readings, so it is personalized, and yeah, it's personalized, and there's always just exclusive content, and there's also what are they called? Oh, the extended readings are over there. So yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. The link to my Patreon is in the description below. But take good care of yourself, you guys. Have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are. Please subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, if you chose this blue obsidian crystal, this is your group. Hello, group number 8. I'm going to set your crystal right there. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on this video today. And as I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about when will it happen. So we're going to be looking at your question, whatever it is you are asking, whatever you want to know the timeline of. We're going to see, when will it happen. So we're going to start off with this energy check here. This is a good way for you to know if this is your group or not, because I'll just read, what the energy feels like for this group. And if that doesn't seem like what you're going through or what you're asking, or if it doesn't seem like, your question, then definitely check out a different group. So far, every group has had a very specific energy. So I feel like you would definitely know if a group is your group or if it's not. If it's not, then definitely check out a different one. But if it is, continue watching and we will get into the time frames. So to start off with the energy check, go ahead and think about your question. I'm gonna shuffle this deck here, and you can say your question out loud. You can say, I almost burnt that. You can say your question out loud. You can say your question in your head. You could even pause the video if you want to meditate and really set your intentions for your question, but do it however it is that you want to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and start shuffling. And go ahead and think about your question. So for group 8, what are they asking about today? For our energy check for group number 8, what are they asking about today? Our energy check for group 8. What are they asking about today? What is group number 8 asking about today? What is group 8 asking about today for when will it happen? What are they asking about today for group number 8? What is group 8 asking about today? 8 of Wands with the number 29. Sagittarius energy right away. Okay. We have the Hierophant with the number 5. And we have the Champion of Pentacles with the with 75. Wait, Champion of Pentacles. I think this is the Knight of Pentacles. So you have the 8 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, and then you also have the Knight of Wands, the Champion of Wands, bottom of the deck. 2 of Wands in the reverse and the Fool in the reverse. There's definitely hesitation. It's like you're questioning if you are doing the right thing or if you're making the right move. I feel like that's what's coming through so far. Because with the 8 of Wands, this is talking about forward movement, something happening relatively quickly. And in this sense, with all of these birds flocking together it feels like they are traveling, or they're going somewhere new, or they're just like going to another place. And with both of the Knights coming out, that also feels like you're working on something. With the Hierophant, you could be pursuing higher education, or just pursuing something in your career, in school, with your craft. The Hierophant could even be like somebody who's giving you advice or is giving you guidance. It almost feels like you're wondering if you're making the right moves or if you're on the right track. Because you're in the process of doing something. I feel like this plan has already started, or you've already like, yeah, you've already kind of like started the process of something, but I think you're hesitant because you want to make sure you are on the right track, and like you don't want to mess something up. You don't want to mess it up. But with both of those cards, the Two of Wands and the Fool in the reverse, there's like major hesitation. But with the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, you want to do it. You know you're capable of it. You know you're capable of it, and you're excited to do it. There is passion there. And you know you can do it. You believe in yourself. But there's, for some reason, hesitation. And I think maybe you're just questioning, like, is this the right step for me? Or is this the right path for me? Even with the Knight of Wands and the Hierophant, with this Sagittarius energy and with the Hierophant, it sometimes makes me think of like world travel, or like going to a different country, going to a different state, becoming more knowledgeable with like other cultures for some of you. So this could be like a massive travel, like a huge change going from like one side of the world to the next. So it's like there's some huge shift happening in your life, and you're excited to do it, and you want to, and you know that you will be like, you know you can do it, but I think you're hesitant because it's like such a drastic change, and you just want to make sure you're on the right track before you make such a change. You could also be going with people, because like birds of the same feather flock together, whatever that saying is. That's like what I'm thinking of here. So maybe there's like friends, family, acquaintances, co-workers, classmates, I don't know, like there could be other people that are also going to do this. So you're questioning like if you should join them, something like that. It does feel like going the distance in some way. So I think that's the best scenario that I can give. And I think ultimately what I'm seeing is like somebody questioning, like, am I on the right track? And is this the right next move for me? So to answer this and to give you some kind of a time frame, I'm going to pull 3 sets of cards. I'm going to pull a short time frame, a medium time frame, and a longer time frame. And so far for all the groups, it's kind of given us some kind of a timeline and also some kind of like a storyline as well. So I'm hoping for this group it'll do the same thing. So we'll start off with our shortest, and then medium, and then longest. You can claim whichever time frame you want. You can claim it as one big time frame. You don't even have to claim anything at all. You know, maybe you totally don't agree with it, and that's also okay because it is a general reading. So let's go ahead and get the timeline here for group number 8. This could also be talking about starting over in life. With the 8 of Wands, it's still indicating to me that it's like some kind of a new beginning, a new chapter. So this could be like a move to a new city, a new state, a new country. So it doesn't have to be like everything I explained, but it could, very simply, it could be that you're just starting a new chapter and you want to confirm that this is the right chapter, or this is like the right path for you. I think like ultimately that's what it boils down to. So for group number 8, for their question of when will it happen, can we get a short time frame? Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune. I love it. Can we get a medium time frame? wow, that's also very fast. The Magician. And then for their long time frame, even that's very fast. Swords is incredibly fast. Let's clarify the Four of Swords for the long time frame. Ace of Swords. Oh yeah, this definitely feels like you've already made up your mind, and it's like already happening to some extent. We have the Six of Wands bottom of the deck to show that you will be successful with whatever it is you're doing. There seems to be a lot of divine timing and divine intervention with whatever is happening here. It also feels like very much like going with the flow. It feels like you are being called somewhere, whether this is intuitively being called somewhere, whether somebody is like actually calling you there, maybe through school, through a job opportunity. It really feels like there is divine intervention and divine timing, divine orchestration, all of that playing a part here. And even with the Magician, I feel like you're ready, and you're like ready for it. You worked for it as well. With the Four of Swords and the Ace of Swords. And this is so fast. Your time frame of when this new chapter is happening, or when you're gonna like officially do this is like this week. I would say this could even, the longest time frame is like 5 days, because I would count this as days. So this is 4 days and this is one more day. So maybe in like the next week, like from now up until the next week, I think there's going to be major developments towards this that you are asking about. And it seems like you've already made up your mind, so you already kind of know that it's happening. And maybe you just wanted confirmation, and that's what this is. Like, this doesn't feel that deep, so it just feels like maybe you just want some confirmation, but you already know that it is what you are doing next. Yeah, I think your time frame is like the next week. Anywhere from today to the next week. And I see a lot of excitement. It does feel like a new chapter is starting in your life. I love that we have the Magician here, because with the red robe, it's really talking about personal power. It's like you're really taking control of your life. And you're realizing that you are in charge of your own destiny. So it's like whatever this is, whether it's a goal, a dream, whatever it is that you are pursuing, you have taken back your personal power and you are going to go after it. And I love that. And that's why this is such a fast-paced energy, because you are going to make it happen. It also feels like this could have just fallen into your lap. Maybe that's why there was a bit of a hesitation. If it almost feels like too easy, like this was given to you and it was like just too easy the way it fell into your lap. So I could see why there could be hesitation, but it really feels like you are being called somewhere, or being called to go do something, and it is a part of your destiny, and you will be very successful. And that's why the opportunity just fell into your lap. I definitely think you will have some kind of a reputation. Either you already have a reputation, or you will have a reputation once you are in this new chapter, or whatever you want to call it. Like once you're in this new phase, you will have a reputation, and people will admire you and look up to you, and even like look to you for guidance. It's giving leadership. So you're definitely stepping into a huge role. And it's like, it feels like 0 to 100 very fast. So that is what I'm seeing for group number 8. I love it. I feel like this is very straightforward. And if this is your energy, I feel like you would know. So let's get some advice. Ooh, January. So we have a time frame. January could be significant. Capricorn season could be significant. Oh my gosh, you have another month. April. So this could be a time frame like January through April. Or there could be like a 4-month window about something. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. Let's see, anything else for group number 8? Any other advice? Mountain, major challenge to overcome. Butterfly. A change for the better. I love it. So even if it feels tough, if it feels like a little scary, if it feels like it might be some kind of a challenge, I think that this is a change for the better. A 4-month time frame could be significant, or specifically January through April could be significant as well. Okay, group number 8, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading. This was very straightforward, so thank you for keeping it easy with me. If you're interested in exclusive content, I have a Patreon. It is linked in the description below, and the viewers on Patreon get to suggest the monthly readings, and occasionally there's like extendeds and other bonus content that goes up on Patreon. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely go ahead and check it out over there. If not, that's totally okay. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's reading. Take good care of yourself, you guys. Please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.